Hello, my wonderful friends. Megas with you on a beautiful day in Asha. Very powerful message today, very heavy message, very advanced message. I'm going to ask you, if you don't have the time right now to make it to the end of this video, go ahead and click off now and come back to it, because I don't think it would be beneficial to start this without getting to the end, because at the end we're going to do a meditation to raise our vibration. We're going to talk about heavy subject matter, and I don't want to leave you in a lower state than you came. And so I want to teach. I want you to learn and grow. And you know, I've said this before. We can confidently go through hell itself, knowing that we have the power to transmute everything. We can turn the darkness to light because we bring the light, my friends. But you have to trust me with this. And like I said, if you don't have the time to make it to the end of this, go ahead and click off right now. And so I'm going to talk to you about a dream I had last night. A dream and vision, really. It's that place between awake and asleep. And since a child, I've had this gift, and I call it a prophetic gift. I can see things in that place between awake and asleep. I've seen things in the future. I've been able to, I've shared many of the stories with you. I'm not going to go into them all. You know, just one of them that came to my mind just now. One time I was in bed asleep, and someone bumped the bottom of my bed, and I was in bed with my wife at that time, and I look, and there's a man standing at the bottom of my bed. And usually you'd freak out if someone's in your house like that, but there was no panic, and he didn't move his mouth, but I got a message download, and I told him, okay, I'm up, I'm going. And I got up and I walked outside, and I ended up telling my neighbor that was out wandering, because he was just in turmoil in his mind. I don't know what time it was the middle of the night. And the next morning, anyway, he told me that he thanked me for sharing God with him, and I didn't even hardly remember. I was tripping out thinking, oh, I thought that was a dream. I mean, it was just so wild. But I've seen things that are going to happen in the future, the next day, and I've been able to give people warnings and premonitions, and they end up coming true, my friends. And we could do a whole study and teaching on that, which we have, and we'll do more. But it gets me to what I saw last night, my friends. You know, I've been taken in spirit to hospital rooms to pray for the sick. I've been taken in spirit many places. And last night I saw a spirit, an evil spirit, trying to talk a kid into suicide. And this spirit was whispering lies into his ear. And that's what I want to, probably, if I'm going to entitle this message today, it's going to be Whispers. What whispers are you listening to? And I just got chills throughout my whole body here. I'm so emotional about it because of what I saw, my friends. And so this evil spirit is whispering into this kid's ear that he's no good, and just that he'll never amount to anything, and well, why don't you just end all this suffering now, and just whispering these lies and reminding this kid of everything that others have spoken over him, of negativity from parents and teachers and friends and enemies, and just bombarding with these whispers, my friends. And then in the vision, I ran up and I put my arm around this kid. And I started as fast as I can, walking in the opposite direction from where that evil spirit was. And I started whispering truth. And I started whispering truth into this child's mind. You come from good spirit. You're made of good spirit. You are beautiful. You're not an accident. You're not a mistake. And you have purpose in your life. And I started running faster and faster, getting away from the lie, my friends, from that evil spirit, and just kept speaking truth until this child broke free and didn't want to take his life any longer. My friends, what voices are you listening to? What voice are you speaking to yourself? Asha 15 says, only speak and think truth to yourself. My friends, that's our job, to speak truth. But we have to know what is the truth. And that takes us to gold, frankincense, myrrh, and the spiritual gifts of the Magi. Thank you for being patient with me. It's hard for me to get through that story. You know what? I'm going to lighten the mood a little bit just for myself so I can get my composure back. I was looking all over the place for gold, frankincense, and myrrh. I should have this book, my friends, and I couldn't find it. And I was tearing the house apart because I needed to find it. And I found this original copy. You've probably never seen this before unless you were from way back when. Totally different cover. And my friends, I was looking through it and it was just touching my heart, all my notes and highlights, and I remembered, my friends, this is what inspired Asha. And many of you have told me Asha is your spiritual book. It's your favorite book of all times. And as I was reading through here, my friends, I was reading the different notes that I took, and it says, break the spell of separation. No apartness. There is no separation. That's Asha 8, my friends. Let's see what here. It says, I live in God. I live in good. Only my good comes to me now. Why? What is my reason? Because God is omnipresent. My friends, that's Asha 14. And I started getting so excited as I was looking at it. I go, this is where our book Asha originated. Of course, it's from the teachings of Zarathustra and the teachings of the Magi, but it was first put down here in gold, frankincense, myrrh, and the spiritual gifts of the Magi. And then as I was able to meditate on these teachings, I broke it down into 16 statements and teachings, and it was so wonderful just going through and reading all my notes. And here's another one. A reason, a basis, or a cause for a belief. The mental power concerned with forming. That's Asha 4, my friends. And so it was so beautiful. And it just went through the whole thing. And I saw Asha just coming together. But what I wanted to share with you here is that we need to know what voices we're hearing from. And it says in chapter 1, Council of the Ancient Sages. Stay with me, guys. Are you still with me? You're going to get so much out of this. Your life is not going to be the same after this message. It says, in conformity with the revelation of the religion, the ancient sages and their primeval wisdom have said, on reaching the age of 15, every man and woman must know the answer to these questions. My God, why don't we still do this? Why don't we make sure that our children by the age of 15 can answer these simple questions? Because most adults can't. It says, who am I? To whom do I belong? From whence have I come? And whither do I return? From what stock and lineage am I? What is my function and duty on earth? What is my reward in the world to come? My God, don't you wish our children knew these answers to these deep questions that many adults don't even know to this day? As I'm reading this, some of you might be thinking, I wish I knew that. You can know that. We have the answers, my friends. It says, did I come from the unseen world, or was I always of this world? Do I belong to God or to the devil? To the gods? How many paths are there to salvation? What is my religion? Where does profit lie? Where does loss? Who is my friend and who is my enemy? Is there one first principle, or are there two? From whom is goodness and whom is evil? From whom is light and whom is darkness? So you get the idea, my friends. We need to know these things. And the first thing we need to know is, who is God? What is God? And then we can find out who we are, because we are created by God and we're created in God's image. My, we're opening up a can here. Okay, so I want to talk about the Bible, because I'm going to read to you about the still small voice, and it's out of the Bible. I want you to see this Bible, my friends. So one of my giftings, as I was telling you, since I was a kid, I could see into the spirit realm. And I actually asked God to take that gift away from me, because it can be quite scary at sometimes, quite confusing at sometimes. And sometimes I could see bad things that were about to happen, and it doesn't give you a very good feeling. But you know what? Something that helped. I had a friend that was a firefighter and a paramedic, and something he said stuck with me. He said when he was working on someone, maybe in a car accident, and they're in pain and there's blood and their blood was all over him, he would remind himself, it's not his pain, it's not his blood. And he was able to get in and do his job. And I've used that as I go into the spirit realm to keep from getting into fear or confusion, and realize that I'm here to help. And so when I'm in a situation, I've learned to invite God into the situation. No matter what's going on, I would say, Spirit, please come and intervene. Bring health into this situation. Bring truth into this situation. And my friends, God would fix the situation, be it something that's going to happen in the future. I would see something bad that might be coming in the future, and I would pray God into that instance. And my friends, I would get these praise reports back that God showed up in a beautiful way, and exactly like I said it was going to happen, it happened. But God saved them, my friends. And so I'm learning to work in these realms. And my friends, I've seen good things, I've seen bad things. I've made wrong decisions in what you might call the astral realm. And I'm going to share one with you that I'm not very proud of, but I learned a lot from before we go on here, because we're talking about whispers. And what whispers are we listening to? We need to learn to hear God's voice. And to do that, we need to know who God is. And so, my friends, I made a mistake with the goddess. You'll probably remember some of my past videos. In my mind, I was thinking of the goddess as maybe the feminine side of God, and pure virgin conscience, Isis, Mary. And so I got myself in a mess there, and a goddess showed up, and she was not a fan of me or the Magi or what I was doing, and she tried to attack me, my friends. And I ended up just praying. And here's something I found that's beautiful. I'm learning more and more about the other side. But I started praying that this entity would find peace and forgiveness, because I could see the anger and the unforgiveness. And my heart went out to her. And I started praying, God, let there be salvation for this entity. Let her find forgiveness and pure, true love. She's obviously been hurt, and she needs healing in her heart so that she can move on to the light, my friend, and quit haunting this world. Oh my God. And my friends, I felt a release, and I'm just praying. I hope the best for that soul. My friends, I want to get back here we're in Kings 19, and I'm going to read to you about this still small voice. Oh, I was telling you about this Bible. So my grandpa, he came to me in vision right after he died. When a soul passes, transforms, dies, for about 3 days, they're very close to our realm. And I could hear and see from my grandpa so clearly. And he held up this Bible and he said, do you know how important this is? And my friends, you've probably seen from many of my teachings, some of it I do see how important it is, and others I don't. But I'm trying to learn and grow and get the good out of it, my friends. To eat the meat, and spit out the bones. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of it here at the Order of the Magi. Grandpa also said something important to me. He said, don't just stay inside digging up demons, but get out where the people are. And it was such a timely message for where I was at the time. And I think he knew what I was going to be going through with the Bible. And he wanted me not to throw it out, my friends. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's powerful teachings, powerful energy, powerful word in here. But you do have to sift through it. And we're going to talk about Elijah here. And I've been kind of hard on the prophets, and I'm not proud of myself for that. I think when I started studying psychology, I thought I was cool because I was putting down Freud, but it's ridiculous because a lot of what we know now, we built off the backs of Freud and Jung and the ones that came before us. And that's how it's supposed to be, that we're learning and growing and edifying the ones that came before us, my friends. And any teacher wants, of course, their student to do better. Even Jesus said, greater works will you do, my friends. But we need to respect the ones that came before us. Here Elijah, I want you to hear this. It says, and he said, go forth and stand upon the mount before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great strong wind rent the mountains and brake in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a still small voice. And it was so. When Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle and went out and stood in the entering in of the cave. And behold, there came a voice unto him and said, what doest thou here, Elijah? My friend, we need to be listening for the whispers, but hearing the right whispers. My friends, opening our hearts and minds only to the right whispers. What is truth? And we have to know what truth is. And that's what gold, frankincense, and myrrh was talking about there. About who is God? Who are we? Why are we here, my friends? And the first thing you need to know is God is all good. See, as soon as we really understand who God good is, we're going to change this world. Do you know the Greek word for see and know are the same thing? And it says that the pure in heart see God. But we have to know God to see God. What does that mean? We have to be intimate with. We have to hold the true image of God to see with our eyes in our world. When our spiritual world becomes straight, by realizing who God really is, my friends, our material world comes into order. And Asha 2, stay with me, guys. Please don't leave me on this one. Like I said, stay to the end of this one. Asha 2 says to know only good. This knowing, written back in this time, my friends, it was an intimacy. It was, as a matter of fact, when you got married and had relations with your wife, that was to know her. It was intimacy. It was oneness, where the two become one. When you become one, when you know God, the true idea of God, that he's all good, love, peace, joy, kindness, and that's his nature, and he has no attributes of the evil spirit. Like maybe you've been told, my friends, when you know that God, when you know on that intimate level, then you will see that God in your world. And that's how we're going to change the world, my friends, by restoring his image. Then we restore man's image. Then we're going to restore this earth. Okay, my friends, if you got Asha, go to Asha 15. It says, tell the truth. Understand this, guys. Giving true witness, a man will be saved. Only think and speak truth to yourself, and it will form. Think God's highest idea of truth, Asha, and live. My friends, that's living that God life. Jesus said, verily, verily, I say unto you, he who holds my vibration, my original word, and trusts God has God life. My friends, we got to hold that original word, the original idea, Asha. So now we know who God is. He's all good. No matter what stories you've heard about him, if it doesn't seem good, my friends, inside you have, in your heart of hearts, a divine spark that's created in the image of God, and there's no confusion there. You know good and you know bad. You know right and you know wrong. You know what love is. And that's our measure, my friends. And that's how we have direction in our life. We must be clear about who God is and who we are, and then we don't waver, my friends. And now we can have a direction to go, and it'll always put you in the direction of love when it's God. So then you know those whispers. It's so simple. What whispers are you listening to? Only listen to the whisper of God, which will always take you towards love and peace and joy and kindness and goodness. And there's no attributes of the evil spirit in those whispers. So, my friends, then you only speak that to yourselves. Don't lie to yourself. Speak truth. I am divine life. I come from good spirit, and I'm made of good spirit. I'm divine health. I'm divine peace. No matter what's going on around me, I hold the vibration of peace, and I create my atmosphere with a God, good truth, Asha, in me. It's so simple, and it's so beautiful. And I'll tell you what I want to do now, my friends. I want to do a little meditation. I'm going to put on some theta music, and then I'm just going to speak truth. And I want you to get used to hearing the truth. And so you don't listen to the lie. You never follow the wrong voice. You know, Jesus said that his sheep know his voice. He's the good shepherd. He's going to be speaking good God things, and we follow that voice, that vibration. That's what we hold, and it's always love. There's never confusion in it. If you ever hear a voice that doesn't make you feel good, then you're not feeling God. You're not hearing from God, because God and good are the exact same thing, no matter what stories you have heard. Now, my friends, you'll see, we need stories, don't we? It helps us to connect with our world. And my God, I look back when my kids were young and things I hadn't noticed about the stories we shared with them. You know, one of my favorite books, Peter Pan, there was, murder in it, and Tinkerbell, what was up with her, and things I didn't really notice before. The nursery rhymes, you know, ashes, ashes, we all fall down, and it's about plague, and we're chanting it, singing it, and just putting horrible ideas and vibrations into our children. And my friends, we need new stories, better stories, and as we tell new, better stories, source will match it. We'll start to create that in our world. Before we go on to the we got to go to Asha 12. Turn to Asha 12. So beautiful. Asha 12 says, there is nothing for me outside. I've spent too long, and this is all about stories. You're going to love this. I've spent too long looking outside myself, looking for meaning, purpose, affirmation, approval, love, truth, happiness, and even God, just to find myself ever searching. My friends, you can end the search today for God. You can end the search today for what's good, because in truth, there's no separation from your God, your good. It says, so what do? I quiet all the many thoughts, ideas, and stories. We've been told a lot of stories through I don't want to use specific names, but certain entertainment companies, through nursery rhymes, through Bible stories, through churches, Quran stories, Gita stories. We've been given certain stories about who God is that maybe doesn't really match who he is. You know, we need new stories. One that I use a lot, you know, there's great things. We were talking about them, my grandpa's Bible here, but there's stories in there like of Jephthah. And he told Jehovah that if he went in and was victorious in battle, killed them all, killed the men, women, and children, and took all the spoils back, he would offer up the first person that came out of his home. He went in and he killed them all. And his daughter came out when he came home singing, said with a tambourine, "Daddy's home, Daddy's home." And he offered her up as a burnt sacrifice to Jehovah. And you know what? The Jewish people celebrated him for thousands of years, it said, as a mighty man of valor. He kept his word. He told Jehovah he would sacrifice the first person out of his home, and he did it. And they praised that as a good thing. That's not a good story, my friends. Yes, it's in the good book, but it's not a good story. And we need to be able, like I said, eat the meat and spit out the bones and tell new stories, better stories. We've evolved, my friends. We have a better idea of what God is and what good is, and we're sick and tired of the hate and the fear and the greed and the war, and not being able to tell, is that God talking to me or the devil talking to me? My friends, it's time we wake up. God is all good, and we can know clearly who God is. And we can know clearly who's whispering in our ear. If it's good, if it's love, if it's peace, if it's joy, if it matches up with that fravashi, that divine spark inside of us that says, yes, that's God good, then we know it is, my friends. We need to tell new stories, good stories, and that's why the order of the Magi are here. We're here to tell you a good story, my friends, that God is all good, and you come from God. You're made of God. You'll return to God. There's no separation from your God good. You are one, and it's all leading us to love, and we're holding these higher vibrations, and we're moving into higher dimensions with the vibration of love. My God, someone right now forgive someone that you've held a grudge against. My God, someone right now forgive yourself for your past sins and errors, and let's start to love like we've never loved before. Let's not have an enemy. Jesus said, don't have an enemy. Love your enemies, my friends, right? Carl Jung, he said, that which we resist persists. Let's start praying for everyone. All right, my wonderful friends, now we're going to start to wind down, and we're going to do a meditation on truth. We're going to do a meditation on the truth of who God is and the truth of who you are. We're going to go and find that divine spark inside of us. So go ahead and sit with your spine erect and take a long, deep breath and release. I want you to put your hand on your chest, and I want you to realize that inside of you is a book written by the loving Father, and it sees all and it knows all. And it is loving, and it is kind, it's protective, and it's full of provision. Take a long, deep breath, and as you exhale, let all the muscles in your body relax. Breathe in peace. And exhale all stress and tension. Allow your shoulders to fall limp. If you're holding any tension in your face, let it relax. In this life, we play many roles. Sometimes it's our jobs. Maybe a firefighter, maybe a janitor, maybe a businessman. Maybe in those roles we wear a suit and tie. We wear a uniform. We're fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters and friends. We play so many roles, and they change all the time. But who are we? That's what we're going to discover today. What is that consciousness that plays all these different roles? Take a long, deep breath and release. And feel the peace and the love in every cell of your body. And with your hand on your chest, I want you to feel that warm sensation, and that everything is going to be okay. We're going to hear from God, and it doesn't matter what name you call your God. This message goes all around the world. You may call him Jehovah, Allah, Krishna, but here we're going to focus on the Spirit behind the name. Sometimes we do an injustice to God when we try to give him a name or a picture. He's so much more than that. It's his spirit of love and peace, the loving parent, the all-good God. And he has no attributes of the evil spirit. He doesn't hate. He doesn't war. He doesn't kill. He's good. And that's the spirit that we're invoking today. And we'll call him Good Spirit. And Good Spirit, we ask right now that you feel this place. Fill us with your Holy Spirit and with your truth. And let us only hear your word and your whispers. I pray you silence the mouth of the enemy so they cannot speak lies into our hearts and minds. Close any doors that we've opened up to the enemy. And let us just hear from you, Good Spirit. Let us hear your truth. Feel your truth and align with your truth. We invite your word into us, your word of truth and light and love. God is all good. Of course he is. And he's all love. Of course he is. And I'm made in his image. I am the perfect creator's perfect idea. I am love. I am peaceful. I am so very, very valuable to my loving Father. I am needed in this time and space to bring my perfect gift to offer to the world. My gift is my love. I hold love. I vibrate love. I receive love. And I give love. For I am love. I am joy. Feel your heart smile. Feel that joy as it fills every cell of your body. And everywhere this joy touches, it heals. It heals the wounded heart and the broken mind. It gives strength to the body. I am one with my God, my good. God is omnipresent. God and good are the same thing. My good is omnipresent. My God good is here now. I am protected. There's a shield of protection around me and my family and my loved ones. I am provided for. All my needs will be met. As I rest in the Lord. I want you to feel that peace now. See it coming down from the heavens and into the crown of your head and pouring like oil through your body. Yes, you look comyondolosa. Yes, you look comyondolosa. That is the Spirit of God. Receive. God is with you. God is in you. And you are in God. And there is no separation. And there is nothing to fear. You are in this light and life and love of Spirit. Now from your heart of hearts, speak truth. Tell the truth. I am divine life. And death cannot enter. I am divine health, and sickness and disease dies when it touches me. I am divine love, and hate, fear, and greed cannot enter this atmosphere. And I am light, and in light there is no darkness. and I am in God. And in God there is no devil, and there's no demon, and there's no evil. I live in God my good, and God my good lives in me, and all is well. I choose to think and speak only the truth. Asha is the perfect creator's perfect idea, is reality. Everything else is lie and illusion. And I choose not to be double-minded, but I choose to think God good, to be intimate, to know only good God, and love and peace and joy in all the attributes. And I be those attributes, and I live the God good life. And I change the atmosphere wherever I go. For where I go, God goes. And I bring love and peace and joy and power and freedom. Fear is a distant memory. Evil is a memory rolled up and put on the shelf. For God is, Asha is, love is, peace is, joy is. God is good. God is good. God is good. I am good. I am good. I am good. I see and know who God is, and I see and know who I am. Love and light has taken over every cell of my being and is all that I am. And this light is going out into the world, transforming, transmuting, changing, removing the darkness, removing the hate, removing the war. See the light as it spreads over the earth. And it radiates out through the universe. Love. 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 Give yourself to that love. Give yourself to the true idea of God good. of the Christ mind of who made you, that you and God are one. You are that original word. You are good. And you are love.